Hey y'all, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD. Happy New Year, happy 2026. There has been so much going on at Disney World. There are a lot of rides down for refurb, rides coming back up over the next handful of months. Obviously, we have whole lands going away, new construction coming in. It is so much to keep track of. And if you're planning a trip for 2026 or maybe dabbling one, some of these things may be huge factors for you to help decide. So in today's video, we are going to go month by month through 2026 and highlight what we know so far and some things we don't know in terms of refurbishments to especially attractions, but also some other categories. We'll also just talk about some key times when the parks may be more crowded, if that is perhaps something you want to avoid. If you do find this video helpful, informative, or enjoyable at all, I would super appreciate it if you left a like on the video. You can also consider subscribing to the channel to receive a notification whenever I upload new videos. Thanks so much to everyone who has already subscribed to the channel. I super appreciate this community and your camaraderie, and extra gratitude to my monthly Ko-fi supporters. Admittedly, even for me, keeping track of all of the movement at Walt Disney World is super hard, so if there is anything you are aware of that I'm not highlighting, definitely please leave it in a comment down below for everybody to see. With that, let's go ahead and get started with this month, January of 2026. Both Big Thunder Mountain and Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin have been closed, and they will remain closed through January. And almost surely by the time I edit and upload this, so by the time you're watching, Pete's Silly Sideshow will also be closed. This is typically where you can meet Minnie, Daisy, Donald, and Goofy. They will still be meeting out in Storybook Circus, just not in Pete's Silly Sideshow. For Pete's Silly Sideshow specifically, I haven't seen anything about when that will open back up. Presumably it won't take all that long, but who knows. Then for both Big Thunder and Buzz Lightyear, we are told they will reopen in spring, whatever that means. Moving over to EPCOT, toward the end of the month, Frozen Ever After is going to go down for refurbishment. This is part or all of the transformation from the projected faces to actual animatronics. So while it will be sad to lose that ride temporarily, it's going to be an awesome upgrade. And also note, toward the end of the month, the Skyliner will be down for refurbishment for about a week. It's actually doing the same thing in 2027 if you are looking that far ahead. Plus note that Blizzard Beach is closed, and of course we will have the Festival of the Arts ongoing at EPCOT. Something I'm really unsure of the dates for is the Cinderella Castle repaintings. We are moving away from that pink hue that they did for the 50th back to colors inspired by the original. It looks very akin to the original to me, like almost a one-for-one match, but they aren't saying that. It's unclear how long this will take. I would expect it to be ongoing possibly throughout the entire year. Maybe they'll wrap up early, who knows. Moving on to February, really nothing different in the Magic Kingdom compared to January. In EPCOT, we can expect Frozen Ever After to still be closed for a couple weeks of February, I would think. It is supposed to reopen in February, we just don't know the exact date. Over in Animal Kingdom, early February will be your absolute last chance to ride Dinosaur. We are finally closing that area of the park to make way for Tropical Americas. Then we have the switching of the water parks, so Blizzard Beach will be opening up while Typhoon Lagoon will be closing. Additional areas in Dino Land in the Animal Kingdom will also be closing, so, Restaurantosaurus and the shops over there. And again, you'll still be able to enjoy the EPCOT International Festival of the Arts through most of February. The big news in March is over in Hollywood Studios, where they are going to be taking down Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith very early in the month. Now, the refurbished Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets will be reopening sometime in the summer. Again, we don't have an exact timing for that. And then we have EPCOT switching festivals, so we'll move out of Festival of the Arts in late February, and we will move into Flower and Garden Festival in early March. Really no news to highlight in April other than what we've already seen. In Magic Kingdom, we're still not totally sure when Big Thunder Mountain and Buzz Lightyear will reopen, so they might be closed, they might be open. Certainly, I would expect Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith to still be down and the Muppets version to not be up yet at Hollywood Studios, and more of the usual in terms of the water parks and EPCOT Festival. May, though, we do have some news, though it does fall more into the unknown category. We can expect Soarin' with the Across America overlay to open prior to Memorial Day. This also means it's got to go down at least for a day or two, I would think, sometime around then, or maybe earlier. Bluey and Bingo are also showing up at the Animal Kingdom at Conservation Station sometime in the summer. But otherwise, again, more of the same in terms of we're just not too sure what spring means, what summer means for a lot of these refurbishments. Disney often counts summer as mid to late May, especially once you hit Memorial Day, but June is kind of officially summer now, so all of these things with summer openings are possibly opening in June. This, of course, includes Bluey and Bingo over at Conservation Station in Animal Kingdom, as well as the Muppets theme of Rock and Roller Coaster, but we also have a new Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse live at Hollywood Studios opening in summer. Moving into July, the only new thing to note is also over in Hollywood Studios, we have the Magic of Disney animation experience that's supposedly opening late summer. To me, late summer is probably August or September, but it is possible they may squeak it in for July. Who knows? In August, we have no real big news for attraction refurbishments, at least not yet. Again, we've got all those things opening in summer that might end up being in August. In terms of non-attraction items to note, we do have a couple of, technically they're both unknown, but I mean also one is pretty known. So I'm expecting that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party will start back up in August. We just don't know the exact date yet. And we can also expect EPCOT to switch over to the International Food and Wine Festival, though the dates here are a little uncertain. They have been moving a bit the past few years. Lately it's been late August. It might be July, it might be early August. They might push it to September. So I am leaving that in the unknown. Not too much to note for September, at least not at this time, 9 months in advance. It's possible that Blizzard Beach might be going down for its typical refurbishment, given that the summer season will have ended, and so then they probably will only have one water park open at a time. But that might not be true, and even if it is true, we definitely don't know the date. And same story with October. By now, I think you are very officially in fall, so I personally am expecting Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster to be live, the new Animation Courtyard attractions in Hollywood Studios to be live, Bluey and Bingo should be well up at Animal Kingdom, and in October, for sure by now, we are doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and the International Food and Wine Festival at EPCOT. Again, with November being almost a year away, we just don't know a ton of concrete details yet. However, I think it is very safe to bet that Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party will start up in November, and I think Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios will also return for a 4th year. Then the only change of note in December will be the last switching of EPCOT Festival, so we will move from Food and Wine and into Festival of the Holidays. Again, we don't have an exact date for this yet. Technically, it's not known yet, but all past trends point strongly to this. That's an overview of what we know and kind of don't know so far for 2026, but there also are some projects that are projected to be further out than 2026. Specifically at Hollywood Studios, we do have Monsters, Inc. land incoming. I believe we're calling it Monstropolis. I'm not sure if that is official yet, but that is replacing the Muppets Courtyard area. We're getting the Monsters, Inc. roller coaster. Who knows exactly what else? I suppose technically that could open in 2026, but I certainly am not anticipating it opening until 2027 or 2028 even. Then in Magic Kingdom, there's also a ton of construction ongoing for Cars Land and Villains Land. Again, technically possible that these at least partially open in 2026, but I wouldn't expect it. And over in Animal Kingdom, as I briefly mentioned, we are expecting to get Tropical America, so that will have an Encanto attraction as well as an Indiana Jones attraction. Construction is well underway for this, and we have heard that it will open sometime in 2027. And on the hotel front, we are expecting the Disney Lakeshore Lodge, which is the newest Disney Vacation Club property, to open sometime in 2027. So with all of this knowledge combined, if you are planning a vacation for 2026 and you want maximum attractions open, I certainly would go mid-summer or later, just given all of the things that are opening spring or summer. And as noted on this slide, there is just a lot of construction going on. But other than refurbishments, let's go ahead and take a look at some other times you might want to avoid going to Disney World in 2026, just based on probable high crowds. Starting off in January, the beginning of the month is usually pretty crowded between the New Year's crowds, and then also there's a big Run Disney event. And then the 19th of January this year is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That is a holiday in the States, can be quite crowded. There's also typically some dance and cheer competitions around this time, so maybe definitely avoid all-star sports, I would say. Mid-February features the President's Day holiday, and Mardi Gras can also mean an uptick in crowds. Then late February through early March, we've got another Run Disney event. Mid to late March tends to be really peak spring break time, can be extremely crowded. And then late March through early April this year is Easter and Passover, so you may also see peak crowds kind of trickle out through into early April still. And then mid-April, there is yet another Run Disney event to be aware of. Late May is the Memorial Day holiday and kind of the unofficial kickoff to summer. It's not necessarily guaranteed high crowds, but anytime there's a big holiday in the States, it's more likely than not that the parks will be more crowded than not. Similarly, in mid to late June, we do have the Juneteenth holiday, though this is a newer federal holiday, so not as many sectors have it off. You might not really see meaningful bumps in crowds here. July 4th is Independence Day here in the United States, so typically there are more crowds around this time in Disney World, especially because they do special fireworks for the 4th of July. Honestly, this year, really nothing to note in August. In the past couple years, August is maybe a little bit of a sweet time to go if you can handle the heat in terms of crowd levels being pretty manageable. For September, Labor Day this year is very late. It is the 7th of September. Usually Labor Day is considerably earlier in September, and so you can expect like late August to early September crowds to tick up. With Labor Day being so late this year, I'm actually pretty unsure if there will be a meaningful bump in crowds for that holiday. But it's something to consider. Mid-October, we do tend to see more crowds for various fall breaks. There is also one federal holiday in here. It's Indigenous Peoples Day or Columbus Day. And then probably in mid to late October, there will be another Run Disney event, though those dates are not announced and confirmed yet. In mid-November, you can see slightly higher than average crowds due to the Veterans Day holiday, as well as Jersey Week. And then, of course, you can expect very high crowds around US Thanksgiving. There's usually a slight reprieve in crowds between Thanksgiving and Christmas time, that kind of early December timeframe. And then once you start getting into Christmas time and New Year's, the parks are slammed. This year, especially Christmas and New Year's Day fall on Friday, so you can expect people will take the full week before and after off potentially. Now, I would never stake my reputation on a crowd calendar. Patterns do change, so most of this is really based around holidays and Run Disney events, because even other times where crowds traditionally are higher, that may not be true this year. For example, summer used to be very crowded, but in the past 5 years or so, it's definitely gotten a lot lighter. And in my opinion, a Disney trip is better than no Disney trip. Take your vacation. Don't let potential crowds or ride refurbishments stop you from going. In my experience, everywhere I travel, it's never perfect. You go to London and maybe Big Ben has scaffolding, or you go to Rome and maybe the Spanish Steps are closed. Like, something is always going to be being refurbished, down, not open, whatever. I just apply the same mindset to Disney and go and try to have a good time. Of course, if you are taking a once in every 10-year trip, I would probably wait till 2027 till some of these big construction projects are open, or maybe even 2028, but I assume you're probably not the core audience of my channel. I know despite everything going on at the parks during 2026, I definitely am still going to try to go down and have a good time. Let me know what you think. What trips do you have planned? What other times of the year do you avoid? What did I miss? Your insights are always super helpful and appreciated. Thanks again for watching. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.